Good evening, I'm Victoria, and I have the pleasure of working with Rumia, Cecilia, and Michael. And this is our data project update. So we're working with the UN Development Program and the Bureau on Crisis Prevention and Recovery to perform data analysis on actors involved in conflicts that helps local offices better understand and address future events. So the UNDP is an international organization. And so here's what we're working with. The Global Database of Events, Language, and Tone, GDELT, basically a compilation of everything publicly reported about an event, like the war in Afghanistan, for example, and looking for patterns to forecast future behavior. Basically, we're working with big data. And we're focusing on content from Georgia. So as you can see, Georgia is the dark green location. And after a short period of independence following the Russian Revolution in 1911, it was occupied by Soviet Russia in 1921. So after the independence again in 1991, Georgia experienced a civic unrest, which led to an actually peaceful protest named Revolution of Roses. And it gets its name because the protesters actually brought red roses to the soldiers. So this revolt showed how involved the media was in Georgia. They played a major role because they had support from outside powers like the US aid and the president, especially in the United States. And so today, Georgia is a unitary state, as most of the world is, and it's also semi-presidential, which means that along with the fixed-term president, it has the prime minister that governs. So the GDELT data set includes information on actors and events like their region, affiliation, and role. And so we wanted to better understand who was involved in conflicts in Georgia and how much of an impact they might have by performing some actor analysis. And so here's a visual of the top 5 countries involved as actors in events in Georgia between 2011 and 2013. And so as you can see, the US and Armenia and Russia have great involvement. And so along with actor analysis, we collected information on the tone of articles associated with those events. So this generally ranged between 0 and 10 for events in Georgia, 0 being neutrally impactful. And so here's a visual of like the average tone between 2011 and 2013. As you can see, at the election season in 2012, there's a dip, which means the tone was less positive. And so, along with the tonal scores, we also wanted to measure the Goldstein scale, which is basically helps us better understand what sort of impact certain events would have on the community. But it's important to note that if it's okay, so here's a visual of the Goldstein scale, and again, you can see there's a negative impact around election season in 2012. Okay, and here's a visual again of a map, and so the numbers beside the countries are their Goldstein scale, and then the darker the green, the more of an actor the country was, and the darker the purple, the more the country was acted upon. And so some other event attributes that we could look at include the total number of sources for an event associated with each article, and the number of articles that refer to that same event, along with like how many times an actor is mentioned across several events. And so some pitfalls in our data cleaning was that Georgia, like the state, was often like included in our tags for Georgia the country, so we have to do better as we move forward. And we had a final slide about
Sorry, guys.
So these are our post-midterm plans, and so along with trying to determine, like, I guess the actors' involvement in the Georgian affairs, we wanted to improve the visualizations that we had. So like the map, for example, so to better communicate what we wanted to. And wanted to predict like which sort of political leaders would likely have a negative or positive impact. So thank you.